start and wait for the plus count. All personnel please continue to monitor your systems, and grass is in control. All personnel please continue to monitor your systems, and grass is in control.
Welcome to the post-test briefing for the hot fire test of the core stage for NASA's Space Launch System rocket. The hot fire is the 8th and final test of the Green Run test series, a comprehensive assessment of the rocket's core stage prior to launching Artemis missions to the moon. During the test that took place today, here at NASA's Stennis Space Center near Bassler, Mississippi, engineers loaded more than 700,000 gallons of cryogenical supercooled propellant into the tanks and fired all 4 engines at the same time for a little over 8 minutes to simulate launch. Here to talk with us about the hot fire test are NASA Acting Administrator Steve Jurczyk, engineers loaded more than 700,000 Tom Whitmeyer, Deputy Associate Administrator for Exploration Systems Development at NASA headquarters at the same time for a little over 8 minutes. John Honeycutt, SLS Program Manager from NASA Hot Marshall Space Flight Center, NASA Acting Administrator Steve Jurczyk, and Julie Bassler from SLS Stages Manager from Marshall, Deputy Associate Administrator for Exploration Systems Development. Also joining us on the phone for the Q&A session, we'll have Maury Vander, Chief of Test Operations at Stennis, Johnny Heflin, SLS Liquid Engines Manager from Marshall, and John Shannon, Vice President and SLS Program Manager at Boeing, and Doug Bradley, Deputy RS-25 Program Manager at Aerojet Rocketdyne. We'll have Maury Vander. Our speakers will each give a few opening remarks from the speakers here on the stage, and then we'll take questions from reporters on the phone. For the reporters on the line, you can enter *1 at any time to be joined into the queue. Your phones are on mute now, and the operator will open your mic to ask your question and close your mic when you're done. Our speakers will each give First we'll hear from NASA Acting Administrator Steve Jurczyk, and then we'll take questions from reporters on the phone.
Hey, good evening, everybody. So first, what a great day and a great test. And right up front, I just want to say how proud I am of this team. Many of the team members have been on the program for a lot of years, and worked really hard to get to this point. So first, what a great day and the past year, and right up front during all the challenges we've had with the global pandemic. And I just could not be more proud of the team, of their talent, dedication, getting to this point and pulling off a very successful test. It's been a really, actually, great year for NASA during a very challenging year for the nation and the world. We had the first launch of astronauts from American goals and objectives for Artemis. To land the first woman and the next man on the surface of the moon, and to return to the moon, this time to stay, to explore the moon sustainably, demonstrate the capabilities and technologies that we need to eventually achieve a human mission to Mars. So not only critical for our Artemis plans, but critical for our overall Moon to Mars plan and achieving that ultimate goal. And this test will allow us to continue the integration of the Space Launch System, the largest, most powerful rocket ever developed, which we're going to integrate with the Orion spacecraft and do an uncrewed test flight, leading to a crewed test flight, and then that first landing mission on the moon. And the SLS and Orion, along with the Gateway and the Human Landing System, the first human-rated landing system in development since Apollo, are the backbone of the systems and the architecture that we're going to need to accomplish these goals and objectives of a permanent and sustained presence around and on the moon. So this is a major step in advancing our goals, and again, couldn't be more proud of the team, and I just almost speechless about how well things went today. So Thank you very much.
All right, we'll go to Tom next.
Okay, and I agree with Steve's comments. This has just been a tremendous day. Congratulations, John and Julie, your teams, the other teams represented here today, and everybody that worked all those years before today to actually have a design, a manufacturing facility, everything that goes behind a rocket. It's very amazing accomplishments. This was the last really big development test we needed to complete, get behind us. And in our program, we take it a step at a time. This was a really important step for us. John and Julie will talk about the next steps in terms of reviewing the data and seeing what we got out of the test. Generally speaking, it's going to take about a month to complete refurbishment. Then we will ship it down to the Cape. It goes down the Pearl River, through the Gulf, down the tip of Florida, and into Cocoa Beach. And we turn it into the Turn Basin. And for those folks that are familiar with the VAB, we actually go into the VAB, and we go to the right at the very end. That's High Bay 3, and we're going to put it right in the stack. We've got the boosters ready to go on the ML. We've got processing going on Orion. And I just can't agree with Steve more. A lot of us are going to look back at this day later in our careers and our lives, talk to our families and friends and significant others and say we were here for a very important test for the most powerful rocket ever built, and I think that's just an incredible accomplishment. For terms of what happens after this, once we get to the Cape, we'll take it a step at a time. We have a lot of very specific activities that will occur next, a lot of stacking operations, integration operations, test and checkout. And when we accomplish those operations, we'll be ready to fly. And just as we've done today, we'd like to take that a step at a time. We'll see how we do later on in the year. We're very excited about that, and it's going to be very visible. We're going to bring everybody along to kind of follow us as we go through the year, and we're very excited about that. So I'm going to turn it over to John. Congratulations, John.
Thank you, Tom. I have to tell you that it was very exciting to see the test today. You know, this was a culmination of a series of tests, and I just couldn't be more excited and proud of the team. You know, it's been several years since I experienced the vibration and the sense of the power and the feeling of a rocket like this. And it literally just gives me cold chills whenever I get to experience that. And I think what it does for the team, it's really it's the fruits of their hard work, and that's extremely important, and that's what keeps driving this team. We've had some challenges with this green run, and I'm just so proud of the team with the way they've methodically worked through these challenges, and just the work that they've done got us to where we are today and got us to a really good test. All the data that we have looked at so far, and we've got a lot more to look at, but everything that we've seen in the test today looked nominal. So I would say the core stage, Julie got an A+ today, and so I can't go without thanking Julie and the stages team, all the folks in the SLS program, our prime contractors, Boeing and Rocketdyne, and especially our friends at Stennis that provided a great test facility and a great test operations team. I got to see this team work through these series of tests, and the more they tested, the better they got. And that was really evidence today with a good smooth countdown to get us into the test. I would also just like to take just 1 second at a time to mention the fact that we did lose one of our teammates this week, and it was Mike Rudolphi. He's one of our forefathers that worked in the program with us, and he will be dearly missed, and we owe him a debt of gratitude for his contributions to get us to where we got to today. As Tom mentioned, we'll be getting on the test stand and assessing and taking a look at what kind of work we need to do on the stage to get it ready to ship. And then at that point in time, we'll remove it from the stand, get it on the barge, and ship it to KSC, and we're really looking forward to that. So, in SLS, we've got all our hardware at KSC, and we've got both boosters stacked, and we're really excited to be able to get the core stage to KSC and get it stacked in between those two boosters. So, Julie, I'll turn it over to you now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Honeycutt. So yes, it's been an extraordinary day. So a lot of hard work has gone into getting us to this point today. The team is amazing. Every time we test, we learn something new, and they are so resilient. And the team that pulled together today, the Boeing and Rocketdyne and the Stennis and the SLS team, we have met several challenges this year, not to mention the COVID, but also with all the weather challenges we had. We actually had a weather challenge last night, actually. We were watching the bad storms come through, but we had a Stennis team that was on the ready, and they came out around 2 a.m. and got on the facility and finished up all of our pre-test work that we needed to do out on the stand. So at 5:30, when the test team came in, we had a all clear sign, and we were ready to go into test. At 6 a.m. this morning, we did our tanking, go, no go, and we had no anomalies, no issues were being worked. And that was pretty much the way the whole day went. We went through the whole day. We had no significant anomalies. It was the smoothest test, I think, that for sure we've ever ran, and several other people on the team said any test they've been part of. We had no major issues, and we went all the way up to the T-minus 10 minutes, and we did our hold and checked everything, and did the final go, no go from the test team, and went right into the hot fire. So I think you can see from the video and everything that all the data we're seeing now, as Mr. Honeycutt said, everything looks like we were right down the middle of our modeling and our analysis. We have met all of our objectives now. So, we talked about we needed at least 4 minutes. Well, we did twice as good as we needed. So big thanks to the team, and couldn't be more proud and more humbled to be part of such a feta-do to get this hot fire off today. So great effort, and wanted to just thank everybody.
Thank you. We'll now take questions from reporters on the line. Please press *1 to be entered into the queue. We ask that you please stick to one question and identify to whom your question is directed. If we have time, we'll allow reporters to ask a second question. Again, you can enter *1 on your phone to be joined into the queue at any time, and you can enter *2 to be removed from the queue. All right, so for our first question, we'll take Marcia Dunn from Associated Press.
A question for Mr. Jurczyk. I'm wondering what kind of schedule you think you have for this year. Do you think you can launch the first flight by year's end, or do you think it'll bump into 2022? And what about the first moon landing? When do you think that might actually take place? Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to take the moon landing part, and I'm going to kick the launch part to Tom Whitmeyer. Okay, yeah. So on the moon landing part, we have an internal study that we're conducting right now to look at the missions beyond Artemis II, and particularly given the appropriations that we got in FY21. Actually, it was really good appropriations in 21, including a good bit of funding for the human landing system, but not what we requested. And so it's probably take a few months to get through that study. We'll take a look at
integration of
what we can optimally do given the FY21 budgets and expected budgets in out years, and lay out the mission manifesting cadence beyond the Artemis II that we're conducting right now. So we have some work to do there, but we're in the middle of that work right now. Beyond Artemis II.
Okay, let me talk about the launch situation, and it's kind of what I've described at the start of the process. We take this a step at a time. We saw that here today. I mean, our goal is to get through certain tests and certain activities, and when we're done with that, we have an opportunity to fly. And so I'm always very careful. I used to do shuttle program, and we're always very careful to say, We need to get through every one of these tasks.
What sort of interactions you've had with the Biden administration, and if you've gotten any indications of how things might be different in the NASA programs, Artemis in particular, but anything else in general that you could see shifting. Thank you.
Yeah, so in general, we've gotten really good support from the Biden administration. Pretty much across the board.
You've had with the Biden administration?
I have to say I am optimistic about the trajectory that we're and pretty much staying on that trajectory. Now, with respect to Artemis, I was really excited and glad to see early on the administration,
and if you've
communicated their support.
Any indications of
and our overall Moon to Mars strategy, and obviously human exploration is
we had the plan to do the low-level LOX cut at the end of the test today, and that went according to plan.
Okay,
So
yes, okay. So,
looking for you to confirm that.
Okay, yes. We
we did meet that objective. Okay, now I'm with you, Philip. So, and as far as finishing up what we have left to do, so we'll be doing our refurbishments, we'll be reviewing data, and then we'll do our break of configuration. And then we have about mid-April is what we're targeting right now to do shipping our core stage over on the barge to KSC. And so by the end of April, we're looking at arriving at KSC. And John Shannon, I'll throw it over to you if you want to add anything to that.
Julie, that was a great explanation. Philip, from our initial look at all the data, we achieved all of the objectives, even our secondary objectives. We did see a LOX low-level cutoff. And the system behaved exactly as it should. And so we're very excited about the data that we've gotten in terabytes.
And then we'll do our break of
We'll be working through that
and then we have
over the next couple of
about
weeks
mid-April
as
is
we
what we're
do
targeting right now
very
to do
detailed
shipping
inspections of the hardware. But the initial look is that everything
so by the end of April,
worked perfectly. And we also can't forget to say that it wasn't just the vehicle that worked perfectly today, it was the beach. Julie, that was a great explanation. The work that the Stennis Space Center did to pull off an amazing test like this was unbelievable. All of their systems just worked exactly like they should. Low-level cutoff. Julie, that was a great explanation. The system behaved exactly.
Our next question is from Eric Berger of Ars Technica.
So we're very
congratulations, everyone. Looks great today. The engine fire, the core configuration fire, it seemed like that was expected to do because of the hot exhaust on the test stand. I think some of that was planned for. Can someone, maybe John Honeycutt perfectly or John Shannon, talk about kind of what we saw there on the screen and why that probably wouldn't be an issue?
Julie, that was a great explanation. The work that the Stennis Space Center did to pull off.
Yeah, Eric, I'll tell you what I know a little bit about it. I'm not a thermal